In 2026, the real estate world didn't collapse or disappear. It simply became harder to enter the way most beginners were being taught. Social media was still full of the same promises: flip houses for fast cash, scale Airbnb portfolios for passive income, buy multifamily units, and retire early. But behind those headlines, a quieter reality had formed. Costs had risen, competition had intensified, and the gap between experienced investors and complete beginners had widened more than ever before. This is where the story of the hidden opportunity begins. A young beginner investor named Daniel had been watching the market for months. He tried studying house flipping first. Every deal he found was already being bid up by experienced contractors. He looked into Airbnb next, but found that in most profitable areas, regulations were tightening and startup costs were far beyond his budget. Then he explored multifamily investing, only to realize that even small buildings required strong credit, large down payments, or partnerships he didn't yet have access to. Daniel wasn't failing because he lacked effort. He was simply entering a game where the rules had changed. One evening, while reviewing listings that had been sitting unsold for months, he noticed something unusual. Certain properties weren't failing because they were bad assets. They were failing because the owners were stuck. Some had inherited homes they didn't want to maintain. Others were landlords, burned out from managing tenants. A few were developers holding unfinished projects they couldn't complete. The problem wasn't demand. The problem was movement. And that's when he discovered what experienced investors were quietly shifting toward in 2026. Not ownership, but control-based real estate strategies. Instead of buying properties outright, a new wave of investors was learning how to operate in the space between the owner and the buyer. They weren't flipping houses with renovations. They weren't running hotels. They weren't managing large rental portfolios. Instead, they were identifying motivated sellers, connecting them with ready buyers, and structuring deals where they earned from the difference created in that connection. It was simple in concept, but powerful in execution. Because in real estate, value doesn't only come from buildings. It comes from solving problems. Daniel began to understand something most beginners never hear. Every property in distress is actually a communication gap. The seller wants out quickly. The buyer wants a good deal. But they rarely meet at the right time, in the right place, with the right structure. The investor who bridges that gap doesn't need millions. They need positioning, awareness, and negotiation skill. This was the hidden strategy quietly outperforming traditional methods in 2026. The more Daniel studied it, the more it made sense. While others were competing for expensive flips and overbid Airbnb properties, this model had almost no financial entry barrier. There was no need to purchase property, no need for construction crews, no need for long-term debt. Instead, it focused on one core skill: finding opportunity where others see inconvenience. The turning point came when Daniel decided to test it. He started by reaching out to local property owners whose listings had been sitting unsold. Not to buy, but to understand their situation. He asked simple questions. Why are you selling? How fast do you need to close? What would make this easier for you? Most people responded openly because they weren't being pressured by another buyer. They were being listened to. At the same time, Daniel started building a small network of real estate investors who were actively looking for discounted or off-market deals. These buyers already had capital. They didn't need motivation. They needed access. For the first time, Daniel saw the structure clearly. On one side, motivated sellers stuck with properties they didn't want anymore. On the other side, investors actively searching for deals. And in the middle, the connector. The connector didn't need to own anything. They just needed to match the right opportunity with the right buyer and help structure the transaction in a way that created value for both sides. That middle position was where the hidden opportunity lived. As Daniel made his first connection, something unexpected happened. The deal didn't require him to risk his savings. He didn't need to renovate anything. He didn't even need to hold the property. He simply facilitated the agreement and earned from the structure of the deal itself. It wasn't luck, it was leverage of information. By 2026, this approach had started gaining quiet traction because it solved the biggest beginner problem in real estate: lack of capital. Instead of asking, "How do I buy property?" it asked, "How do I connect the people who already want to buy and sell?" That shift changed everything. The barrier to entry dropped dramatically. Beginners could now start with research, communication, and consistency rather than financing and debt. The risk was lower, but the learning curve was still real because success depended on understanding people, not just properties. Daniel learned quickly that speed mattered. The faster you identified motivated sellers, the higher your chance of securing a deal before competitors. He also learned that trust mattered even more. Investors only worked with connectors who brought real value, not random listings. Over time, his system became simple. First, find distressed or motivated property owners. Second, build relationships with active investors or buyers. Third, structure win-win connections where both sides benefit. Finally, repeat consistently and scale the network. No hype, no speculation, just controlled information flow inside a real market. This is why, in 2026, while most beginners struggled in crowded real estate segments, a smaller group quietly built momentum in this overlooked model. They weren't competing in bidding wars. They weren't managing tenants. They weren't over-leveraging themselves with risky loans. They were operating in the middle layer of the market, where deals are made before they become public competition. And that is the real lesson of this opportunity. The biggest real estate wins in 2026 didn't come from owning more property. They came from understanding how property moves between people. Daniel didn't become successful because he had more money. He became successful because he stopped thinking like a buyer and started thinking like a connector. And in a market where ownership is expensive and competition is intense, that shift alone created one of the most overlooked entry points in modern real estate. The opportunity was never hidden. It was simply ignored by those still focused on the old rules.
Us, subscribe, like, share, and more importantly, we love to hear your comments.